So I'm going to go through multiple levels of how to get images for your dropshipping store. From level 0, which is stealing people's imagery, which I do not recommend, it's illegal, to all the way to planning a photo shoot, a branded photo shoot to really elevate your stuff. So the level, let's call it level 0, level loser, is stealing competitors' images. Now, some dropshipping courses out there will say, or YouTube videos will be like, don't do this, but they're kind of also hinting that you should do this. I just don't recommend it because there's something called a DMCA. If you go and you steal a competitor's images, let's say you grab it off their website, you go to their ads library, download all of their ads, and you run that, the competitor probably, if they're like me, have a team of 3 or 4, just going through each platform, Amazon, Facebook, whatever, Alibaba, downloading, grabbing the link of this person that's doing that, submitting it to the platform and trying to get them banned or removed because they're illegally stealing my copyrighted content. So some people will do that to really aggressively test. I just really, really do not recommend it. It's just not a good habit to get into because then you'll get banned. I guess level 1 above that, which is sometimes okay, sometimes not, and I'm going to clarify why it's not, is downloading AliExpress images and getting images from the supplier. Now, if your supplier has created this imagery and put it onto AliExpress or Zendrop or sent it to you directly, then it is completely okay to use that. Like their content, they're giving you, permission to use it, and there's going to be no issues there. Where it gets a little bit iffy, and I'll show you on my screen now, sometimes where it's an issue is when you come into here, and let's go to AliExpress, and we come over here. Some of these images that you can see from some of this content could actually be taken from a competitor. So it's just common practice in, let's say China, if they don't have a nice product image for their new product that they're starting to sell, they're just going to grab the competitor that kind of was the first person to sell it, and they've got to grab branded images from that competitor. When Udi was really, really hot in terms of being a trend, there was just a ton of content here that was ours, and we had to DMCA it. Now, I've heard lots of stories about people going on to AliExpress, downloading the images, then getting DMCA'd, and they didn't even know they were doing the wrong thing, which is really, really kind of a shame. So how do we fix that? How do we avoid that? I don't want to completely scare you away from actually doing this because it's going to be the quickest way for you, is you can easily, one, if you're on Zendrop Select or something like that, you can try to get in touch with them and chat to them about the supplier images, making sure that they're all good. But realistically, the other thing that you can do is you can just do a reverse image search, which is super simple. So let's find a product. Let's just do a humidifier. There we go. And we can just grab one of these humidifiers. Let's say we're going to start selling this bad boy. We can just screenshot this and we can go to reverse image search. I can just drag that image into here. You can use Google reverse image search or TinEye, and you can just see that there's 0 matches. Whereas let's say if they took this Udi image here and use that, you can see that there's just a bunch of results here, and you can scroll down and you can find the original brand owner. These are a lot of media articles, but you'll be able to find the original brand owner and got to be able to delineate between, hey, this is a proper branded photo versus, hey, this is a dropshipper. And it's going to be pretty obvious. It really should. They'll be a quite reputable brand. Their shipping profile will be 2 to 4 days. There might just be one of them as well. There won't be heaps. And you can just make sure and a lot of dropshippers won't even show up here. So just do this reverse image search, check out the competitors, make sure that you're not stealing from an absolute huge brand because they're just going to DMCA you straight away. So that's one thing that we can do. We could do that with our Zendrop images here, which is super easy. But for the most part, Zendrop has told me that all of these images are pretty good to go. So we'll work on our example here, and we're going to go up a level. So we're going to go to level 2, which is modifying the existing supply images to be more on brand. And so we can use them on the website. So we're going to go to compression shirt, when we come to, I think pretty sure this is the one we bought as a sample in episode 2. So we've got this compression shirt here. This is a product that we found in like episode 2. I want to show you how you can grab an image like this and make it elevated in Canva. So if I was using, you can see this humidifier was a really good example. Like this is what we call a white contoured shot. Now this is with background removed. You can add a little bit of a drop shadow to make it a little bit better, but pretty much what they've done, actually this might be a real photo shoot, but you can see that the backgrounds, like this might not be, like I would argue that this is just a background that they found from Canva, all of this bathroom here, and they've grabbed the white contour shot and just added a shadow because the light's coming through there, and they've created their own lifestyle shot. And they've added features and benefits here, which is just a really good way to elevate your imagery and super simple. So if we can get these white contoured shots, especially for something that's like interior, let's say it's an iPhone charger, you can just go onto Canva and you can go to Instagram post square. It's probably a little bit too big, but we can sort that out later. And you can see all of these templates here. They've automatically popped up, but we can go product benefits. We can grab all of these templates here. But what I wanted to show you, just like on the charger example that I just mentioned. So we can come into these elements, we can click photos, and we can come and write in table. And we can basically put in a table here, chuck our charger on there, and then, yeah, go from there. We can actually combine the two. So I'm going to make our images in a sec, but I just want to show you. So if we come to templates and we go product benefits, and we can grab something like this. And actually, I kind of like this. It's interesting. Actually, I kind of like this. A little bit more masculine. So I can actually delete this product here, and I can get what's called the white contoured photo. So I'm just going to do it for our product, not the charger, because I'm just speaking to you hypothetically. Now you can download these images, you add the products to the store, they should all be there, and you can download them directly from Shopify. I'm just going to screenshot to keep this quick and drag this across. And now we can just use, oh my God. Yep. And now we can just use the background remover, click this button, and it's going to remove it here. And we can just drag all of these things out. And we probably don't need this text. Just want to show you what this looks like. And we can drag all of this out. You guys kind of get the idea. And we can play around with this until this looks decent. So look at all the templates, try to find templates that suit your product. And it's really just kind of that easy. The other thing that we can do is we can elevate our contoured shots just a little bit by deleting this. Oh, that kind of lined up perfectly. But that shadow actually wasn't there. So let me just delete all of this stuff. And let's say we've got this from there. I've removed the background, and now I can just click edit, and I can scroll down here, and there's just a bunch of things that we can play around with. We could do like, oh no, that's not the right one. We just want to drop shadow, and we can make the distance a little bit further, and definitely more blurred. The final thing I will say with this is, if you're struggling to figure out what to actually write on these graphics, whereas like the arrows and talking about the product, you can quite easily just go into ChatGPT and say, what are some unique selling propositions for this product? Just make sure that they're 2 words or 3 words with a small description underneath, and you can just grab those and chuck them on there. It should be really easy. Now, the next level is using AI imagery to get models within your products. For clothing, this is going to be, it just keep getting better and better. People look back on this video in 1 month and be like, oh my God, it's already gotten way better, which is awesome. And then the final stage after that is doing your own photo shoot, which I'm going to show you both of those. So the other thing that you can do to get more ideas for imagery is you can go onto Pinterest and write in, clothing, advertising, that kind of stuff, clothing graphics. You can go onto Behance and Dribble. They're free tools as well. And you can see some other imagery like this. Now, I don't like this image specifically because it's leaving up too much up for interpretation, but something like this, you kind of start to, that obviously makes a little bit more sense, but using arrows and just general arrows and actually calling out the features is probably the easiest way to communicate your product. So one of the tools that I recommend in terms of getting, if you're doing a clothing product, is Batika. Now, if I'm not using clothing products, I'll use Midjourney to create prompts and then Photoshop them in, or even get a Photoshop expert on one of the platforms like Fiverr or Upwork, even an AI expert as well, to create backgrounds, to create situations and get them to manipulate and add the photos to it. But for clothing, we don't really need to do that anymore because we've got this app here. So I'm just going to get started now. And we can go into, there's 3 options here at the moment. So this option here is on model photos, which is like someone wearing the product. Let me just find an example of that, which would be kind of this photo here, but the more zoomed out, of course. That makes sense. And then we've got the next option, which is the flat lay photos, where you're taking the photo flat, which would probably be a bit more like this image here. And then finally, we've got the mannequin photos as well, which actually that's probably pretty close to a mannequin photo. The flat lay is going to look a little bit different. I'm trying to find a flat lay. These are all probably mannequin photos. So the best photos that we can get with these features, these are all in beta, is this highest quality on model photos. So coming back here, like hopefully your supplier has some images for this, but we can grab this compression top. We just don't want too much in the photo, like these dumbbells and stuff. We just kind of want it to be a simple photo. There we go. So let's say, for example, we grab this image and we come here and we click start creating. And we go next step. We click men, select one of the guys. We're just going to do a studio photo for this, but you could maybe pick a gym flooring or something like that and click generate. And it's going to take a few minutes. And now you can see this image here. And you can create variations of this image, but you can see this model is now in that product. So pretty simple. Have a play around with that tool. And this is just going to keep getting better and better. But the one thing I will say before I show you the final level is that product imagery has the ability to take a store from unprofitability to profitability. If you have blurry images and it doesn't show the product, you don't have enough images, it doesn't feel cohesive and trustworthy, then there's a good chance that the customers aren't going to shop. I did a photo shoot with one of my investments and their conversion rate increased by 30% straight away with those images. And it probably actually ended up at more like 50%, but initially, like straight away, day after the change, it increased. So highly recommend really just spending a lot of time with this. The next step is doing your own photo shoot. Now, do you have to do a professional photo shoot to launch your dropshipping brand? Absolutely not. I didn't do a proper photo shoot for a long time with my e-commerce stores, but I want to teach you how, because I think that it is something that people don't do enough of. And I think if you're going to do something competitive, you're definitely going to want one. Now, there's different levels of photography. There's the first thing you can do is, let's say you've got a small gadget. You can easily go onto Amazon. I'm going to show you. And you can go and simply do Lightbox. And you can just buy one of these light boxes and then you can use your iPhone. You can even get a little tripod to make sure it's 100% still. That's also not necessary. And you can take some photos with the light box. Just get one with really great reviews. That's going to probably be a pretty decent shoot. The other thing that you can do is, if you are selling like skincare or like something very simple, like a tub of cleaning product or something like that, you could actually just go onto Fiverr or Upwork. Now, we've got modules coming up on how to hire people overseas, but if you wanted to, you could hire someone on Fiverr or Upwork and to create a 3D render of your product. And if you spend maybe $50 to $300, you'll probably be able to get a pretty good 3D render of your product, which will save you having to do this photo shoot. Now, let me be very, very clear. We are getting photos at the moment for our website before we create our Shopify site. We're not creating content, Facebook ads, TikTok just yet. We might incorporate it with the shoot, and I'll show you my shot list in a second and how that works. We can also, if we wanted to, we can do white background, and we can buy one of these and pin that up with a photography stand, again, using iPhone. We can also just get a continuous light, and you really just want to go, like, the bigger the softbox, again, we're starting to get into expensive territory. The bigger the softbox, the better. These newer lights are pretty good. Also, the big rig lights are pretty good as well. So if you wanted to start to get a little bit more expert there. Now, there are a couple of other options if you don't want to do it yourself. You can, one, go to a photography agency. They're starting to pop up a lot now, which is you basically send the product to this photography agency. You can actually remotely call in, and what they'll do is they'll make sure that you get all the right shots and you can check all the images, make sure you're happy with them. Then they'll deliver the images. The alternative is you can hire a photographer and then put the shoot together yourself. The way to find models is you can easily write in your city and then models. So I just wrote in Adelaide models, and there was a bunch of options. And a way to find photographers as well is you can do a very, very similar thing. You want to go into the portfolio, make sure that they've done photography for your exact product, like a food photographer. And again, this is one of the requirements of why we picked a relatively easy product, because of this photography section. If you're selling a food product that requires perfect plating, you're going to have to hire like a chef to kind of create that. But realistically, if we can find a good photographer that has shot models before for my type of product, plus get a model, just a local model, we're going to have everything we need, providing that the photographer has all the equipment and we can rent the studio. We can also just Google studio rental. So it's really not that hard. I think the main place that people get stuck with this stage to get really elevated photography is the brief, which we're going to go through today. Failure to plan is planning to fail. And I think I butchered that quote. But realistically, if we don't plan this shoot, it's not going to look good. So I spent a little bit more time planning out this my competitors list. One thing's for that LA apparel. What's the name again? Young LA. Didn't realize how big a brand it was. It wasn't just doing compression wear. I should have clicked around a little bit more. So apologies for Young LA to not assume how big they are. This part of the issue about being in Australia, but they look like they're doing some really cool stuff. So I've broken down, their cool products, and the development looks really good there. But yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of people screaming at the screen, just like, how do you not know who these guys are? Anyway, the next steps that we want to do is we want to put this Next Notion thing together. Now, you've got free access to this template. This is predominantly right now for someone that's got to organize the shoot themselves, but still pretty important for other people as well. So first up, we've got defining the purpose of the shoot, which is website imagery, and a couple of social videos. That's the main thing. Identifying the target audience based on the market research we've done. It's going to be probably age 30 to 50 men. Now, determine the style and tone of the image. Now, I think this is the most important part. What we want to do is we want to come to these competitors. I don't actually mind some of these competitors. Should have done a lot more. Obviously, that's terrible. We can take something from like this. We could even take something from Gymshark, right? Like we could look at Gymshark's imagery and look at how it's kind of positioned, the white background. Like this stuff's pretty good, even though we're selling a little bit more of a specialized piece of equipment. They're kind of up there with the best in the game here. Same with ASOS, these guys that do so much photography. They just know what to do. But if I just write in compression here, we might be able to find some example images. I think they're all a little bit jacked, but look, we can probably grab. So now what I can do is I can just screenshot this and I can put it in this placeholder. That's basically showing the style and the tone of the imagery. Realistically, that can just give the photographer exactly what you need. They know that you need a white contoured background. You know that they're going to be kind of, maybe the posing is a little bit confusing. We should get something a little bit different to that more so, because they're just going to be confused. I'm thinking we want something a little bit more reasonable like this. So we can screenshot that. And it's just going to help them know kind of the tone, the color, that kind of stuff, and get the right backdrops. And also the model selection, what they can kind of expect. So I think that's kind of enough there. If you want to go into more detail, you obviously can. Now, the next step is we've got this kind of checklist of the amount of products that we need. Now, I have my sauna t-shirt. I also have the compression t-shirt. I also have the sauna shorts, which I might just photograph in case I try to do a bundle or something like that with it. Then we've got this, ensure products are clean. I've done that. Arrange all necessary product pairs, done that. We can, the props and whatnot, background, I've already coordinated with a photographer. They've got that. Fabric backgrounds, iron or steam them. You also want to iron and steam the products as well. You might just need to have a steamer there. Then we've got all of this camera equipment. That's all up to the photographer. This is all good. Now, this is the bit that is kind of important. And I think that a lot of people get lost when organizing photo shoot. We want to make sure that we've got all of the product shots that we want here. Now, if you're confused, if there's just something so important. So for example, we are shooting these slippers, and they have a really cool mechanism at the back that you need to push your heel into and it goes in. This is the kind of shot that you would make sure that you put in this shot list, saying heel pushing on the back, because it's going to make sure that you capture it and it tells the photographer exactly what you need. And this is especially important when you're selling a product that is a little bit confusing. So it might be a vacuum, and how does the actual canister of the vacuum take apart? These are the things that you'll need to copy down. And you might also want to get example shots. If you want to find new styles, new creative ways that you could shoot your product, which I don't actually recommend you getting too creative at this point. I think you just want a white background. It's 99% of the time it's going to increase conversion rate. It's just having a really clean background, because customers don't want to be confused about what they're purchasing. But you can always use Pinterest if you're looking to understand some creative directions, or even certain shot lists. So we can do compression where photo shoot ideas. And you can just see a bunch of examples. You know, these are far more creative than what we've got. You'll also get a bunch of different model poses. So we could do model pose, fitness. And honestly, you're just going to get so many different types of ideas and backgrounds. And you can also, in our shot list, so these are all white image shots. We've got the front view, bottom view, close-ups of the fabric, logo branding, blah, blah, blah. You've also got this section down here, which is the lifestyle shots. Now, you don't need to shoot all of these, but lifestyle shots are going to be so, so, so important to elevate the brand entirely, because otherwise everything's going to feel very bland. So where can we get photos of this product in its best setting so that customers can understand what we're all about? That's what Pinterest is really good at. So we can do fitness wear, influencer, just is really anything it's going to come. We've got someone playing tennis, these kind of things. So anyway, it gives you a ton of ideas. The final thing in this photo shoot plan that I think you need to know is when you've got a model and you've got great lighting and you've got all your product looking great, steamed, beautiful there,
sometimes it's a massive waste, especially if you've invested in resources, even like certain props needing to be there, or you've got 3 models there and you've organized everything. It's sometimes a waste not to get some iPhone videos and some level of Facebook ads or just B-roll that you can then use in your Facebook ads. So this is where this video hooks and video body section is, where you can just write a few ideas like, I want to get the packaging shot here as a video. Now, you probably can go there with your iPhone and film that. Alternatively, you could maybe get a videographer to come as well, which is probably overkill. But I'm just going to get my iPhone and I'm going to shoot a couple of videos of the person putting it on, that kind of stuff. And that's going to become really, really handy as we start developing our Facebook ads. The final place that I do look for like imagery inspiration is actually AliExpress. And it's counterintuitive because you're trying to take images so you don't take AliExpress's images, but their concepts can often be quite good. Their execution is 7 out of 10. If we can elevate to 10 out of 10, that's way better. So I can just go compression T here, and I can see, we could take some photos like that. Maybe we just want more the model shots. That looks like young LA. Yeah, I think it was. We can go shapewear mem. We can get some concepts here. So like even this image here, where you can see the arrows pulling in, that's a really kind of good concept that I'm just going to grab to make sure that we get something similar. Obviously, we have a different product. So these are the things that I just want to paste here. See these concepts that they often have? And it's close. It's close in terms of being able to be used on Shopify, but that just feels a bit scammy. But it doesn't mean that we can't look at some of these concepts and apply them ourselves and create consistency. So we got this image here. I think that looks pretty good. Obviously got to get that one. Don't know why this isn't pasting. All right, let me grab that other one again. Oh, I'll just grab this one. Now, if you look at this image here, obviously it's blurry. There's a gross logo, but you can see the function of the product within this shot. So one, it gives me ideas that maybe during the shoot, we want to, kind of use some props or something like that. Probably not necessary. But when we come to all of these competitors, they're really not doing it right. Like, I think this is a really good shot, and I think we should capture this. But they're not really using those arrows, which are prevalently used on AliExpress. So there we go. They did kind of use it, but it's not really front and center. So there's another good concept. So we're just going to spend time. We're going to make sure that every shot that we need for our website is going to be on there. And again, if you're confused about what shots you need, it doesn't need to be a direct competitor, but find someone in an adjacent space where their photography is 10 out of 10. Even someone like Aloe Yoga in this situation, they're not selling men's clothes, but their photography is just absolutely insane, both from a lifestyle perspective and a product imagery perspective. You can see here. So find those people, research them, copy and paste as many example shots that you need, give that to your photographer, or even give it to the agency that's doing the shoot for you, and it'll come out perfect. All right, the model is on his way. It's shoot day. We're really going to make this brand pop. It's going to be good. I'll show you what it's like to be on a photo shoot. If you're shooting your own photography at home, you're not going to have this experience, but we're going to coordinate it. Eddie here is the man. He's the best. So enjoy. So first shot will be something just straight on like that. You can see the...
Do you want the face in or you don't need the face?
I would just get the face in because we can just crop it. We can just crop in. And then it's important that we can kind of see the marks to the lighting of the product so it doesn't look just like an undershirt. You know what I mean? Like it has a feature.
Yeah. Do you want them like cool looking or?
Yeah, I think just serious looking.
Looking.
Yeah. Actually, it doesn't need to be too serious. Like it can be a little bit lighter, like that Gymshark. It's supposed to be like an approachable middle-aged dad kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
Hope you get me on. the inside out.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
Can you feel that pull back a little bit?
I can feel it all around.
Yeah. Yeah.
I happen to even put a sock in there today, so it's warmed up as well.
All right, just have a quick test. Okay, chin down a little for me, yeah. But you can look at the camera for me. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Ashley, okay, you doing? Yeah. Yeah, good. Yeah. Great.
That's good. Can we get more contrasting light to make that stomach? Or should we do that in post? I think we could do that with light.
Yeah, yeah, good.
Let's keep going. We'll get the back shot now as well. But I want to do this side view again. You might need to use tripod because we're going to use a t-shirt and then we're going to put the thing on and fix it. And then it's just going to be like a transition slide.
I probably will.
Well, we can finish off. We can just finish off just getting the product images, like the front, middle, of side and back. Yeah, capture this one as well, just to show. I'll just show it to Ashley. We'll grab that one as well. Yeah, that looks good.
So this one's with the stomach relaxed.
Yeah, this one's like kind of. He's still got abs.
Have to take out that muscle.
It's just the V taper, like. It's just the V taper here. It's just so. It's so indicative. No, it's good. It's good. It's fine. It's fine. And it actually pulls the shoulders back for like a little bit of a postural change.
Yeah.
Like it's not huge, but there's definitely there. Rounded with the shirt. You know what I mean? Like rounded without that. And there's actually a different fabric change above the chest as well that you can maybe highlight.
Get your chin just like kind of.
Nothing really crazy about this aside from you need to get this inside the fabric.
We have to probably do
a couple of those. Yeah. And then you might, I've actually got some like dumbbells and elastic bands and stuff like that. So we can do a couple of prop shots. But we probably, at the end of it, we should get some spray sweat as well, just to highlight how that operates.
Yep.
Cool. Sweet. I'll let you just get your regular shots.
More front on a little bit for me. Yeah, good. Yeah,
guilty.
Nice.
But I think it needs more water.
Oh, I feel that. Yeah. Or even some on the product as well. You know,
yeah, true.
Usually. Yeah.
Get sweat going.
Yeah. It's some there. You okay?
I was good, yeah.
Well,
sure.
Yeah. Awesome. I think that's a wrap. Unless you want to keep going. Can you explain our setup and why you have so many lights?
This is our main light here to bring all the details of our product.
Yep.
And that one there is basically a fill light to filling up. At the moment, this one's just on the modeling light.
Yeah.
Just better for me to see. Basically, those are not turned on.
Gotcha.
Basically. And
why can't you use continuous lighting versus a flash?
Flash just gives in product shooting, it gives you a better crispness to the product.
Yeah.
It's just sharper with the light sharpen, and then also with the more control, better control of the shutter speed, so we don't get motion blur.
Sure.
Yeah, with flash we can freeze any.
So is that synced to the camera?
Yes.
Yeah.
This little gadget talks to the flashes, and then I can control the intensity, the power of the flash from this unit here. And then as soon as I press the button on the camera, it just connect everything, just make everything flash at the same time.
So you got one main light, one second light.
This is a fill. We call it fill light. Yeah. Well, without this fill, we will create a moodier look on the face, more shadow on this side. With this fill light, it just cleans up the shadow a bit, depending on the mood we go for. Sometimes we don't use it, sometimes we use it.
So you got one more light up here.
Yeah, this one's just a top light. I use a lot for bringing out more details on my hair. And then sometimes it cleans up the background as well with a little bit of
Gotcha.
light on the top. And then we have the two backlights for the background color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you need the backlights?
Depending, if I without that black backlight, that white as you see it won't be white in the
Yeah,
photo. It
gotcha.
will become a gray.
Gray,
It will
yeah.
become a gray more than a white.
Yeah.
With the backlight, I can have control of the brightness of the background.
Yeah.
If we are using a color background, I can change the blue into a different blue by adding more backlight into it.
What's a main mistake like new photographers make when they're trying to do at-home shoots like this? Just not enough lights?
I suppose trying to do too much, trying to add too many lights in a small space.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because as soon as you have more lights, then it's harder to control the environment.
That's true.
So sometimes if you just starting at the beginning and do it at home, it's better to keep it simple.
Yep.
Yeah, just
What setup would you recommend?
I would go for a main light for sure.
Yep.
A good source of main light, and maybe perhaps a fill light for it. Yeah. And then if we only have budget for 2 lights, we can sometimes change the fill light and move it onto the back and use it as a backlight.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so, but I would say sometimes minimum is free lighting would be good, depending on your budget, depending on your space. Yeah, I think keep it simple. As long as you get your subject well lit, that's good.
And after you've done these photos, you send them off to a retoucher. We use someone internationally, don't we? Or do you retouch the photos? Explain that process.
Depending on the job, sometimes I do my own retouching most of the time. And if it's like a large loading, like in a busy e-commerce situation, we send it off to a retoucher to do it.
Yeah.
They
And what is retouching?
Retouching is getting rid of the flaws of the photos, really. Like, no matter it's like a dirty background or fixing up skin problems. Spots and stuff. Clean it, and then for more advanced retouching, we can even like to change the whole mood of the photos with toning, with bit of lighting, changes the lighting a bit.
Yeah, you can change fabric color as well. Correct that as well.
Yeah, you can correct anything from retouching afterwards.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So that's how you do a product shoot. We've got a couple of more products coming for females as well. So I'm not going to come down here. I'll be filming Shark Tank, but Eddie will take care of that. And yeah, next step is we're going to get the website live. And there's a couple more steps, but see you in the next module. I'm going to cover the exact flywheel, the exact process to